welcome to my channel. What am I doing today? Today I finally have an opportunity to dig into the Crayola Retired Colors. Now in 2025, last year, and wouldn't you believe it, it started to rain. As soon as I turned on the camera, it was like just cloudy all day, and as soon as I decided to sit down and record, the Lord decided to bless me. But it's okay, I'll take it as a blessing. But let me bring you guys in a bit. Yeah. So in 2025, Crayola returned 8 of their retired colors. Now these colors would have retired mostly between 1990 and 2003, and Dandelion, which was one of the latest retired colors, was in 2017. I believe the first colors to be retired out of the entire 8 were Raw Umber, Violet Blue, Orange Red. I believe those were the first 3 to be retired, because I have sets, but the sets that I had after didn't include those 3 colors. And I think they brought in, after that, in 1919, I think they brought Blizzard Blue, Magic Mint. But shortly after that, and Mulberry. And shortly after that, they retired them again. So, and then in 2017, they retired Dandelion. So, yeah, there's other retired colors out there. And I don't have my little... Yeah, I do. I have my swatch book, because on my swatch book I have information, believe it or not, about what's going on with Crayola, especially the retired color line. Yeah, newer colors. Yeah, I have information. Probably it's on the other set where I have the information. Give me a second. So this is my Crayola colored pencil swatch booklet. Yeah, all my Crayola colored pencils are swatched in here, whereas this is my Crayola crayons swatch booklet, and in here I have information regarding the retired. Yeah, here it is, right on the cover. I wrote it. So yeah, in 1990 they retired. Let me bring you guys down a bit, you'll see my handwriting. Yeah, in 1990, they retired Lemon Yellow, Raw Umber, Violet Blue, Orange Red, and that was it. They brought in Mulberry in 1990, Magic Mint, Blizzard Blue. They brought those in, but they retired them in 2003, which was Blizzard Blue, Magic Mint, and Mulberry. In 2017, they retired Dandelion. There's also a color Maze that is no longer in the Crayola line. I don't know when that was retired. Teal Blue is also one of their discontinued colors. Green Blue is a discontinued color. Gray Blue is a discontinued color. Orange Yellow is a discontinued color. Light Blue is a discontinued color. Brilliant Rose, Thistle, Torch Red. I believe they transport Torch Red into now Scarlet. So older colors will say Torch Red, while newer colors say Scarlet. They had a color called Blue Ribbon that was a part of their 1 million series. If you were able to get that in a special edition box, that was a specific color, Blue Ribbon. I think there's like only a very few of them out there. I've seen one on eBay for like $200. And now these colors names were transformed into other colors like Flesh. That became Peach in 1962. Persian Blue became Midnight Blue. And Indian Red became Chestnut. Yeah, so that's my little thing with Crayola history. So yeah, I remember I wrote it down, but I wrote it down in my Crayola crayon swatch booklet, not the colored pencil swatches. And I think I didn't write it down there because for the fact that in my Crayola color pencil collection, now let me write it up. Put this away because we don't need this anymore, and I pulled out my Crayola color pencil collection because that's what we're talking about today. Before I even get to this, I have to talk about this bad boy. So let me give myself some space and let's discuss this. So before I jump into this, because I know this is the star of the show, I do need to talk a little bit about what's going on here. No, these are not Prismacolors, guys. So this is my Crayola, yeah, colored pencil line here. And I remember lemon yellow being here, and I remember marking it. So there's a color here. Yeah, here it is, marked. And this is my lemon yellow color. So I think, I'm not sure. I may not have all the Crayola color pencil colors there is, because here I also have some color of kindness colors. Because in 2024, when they brought out their color of kindness line, Crayola introduced 4 new colors. So in recent years, and I'm talking after the 2000s, Crayola brought blueberry now, beautiful. That was one of the color they recently introduced into their line, beautiful. But they also brought in 4 new colors into their line. I think I have it written here, behind here. I have it written right here. Yeah, these are some of the newer colors that they brought into their line. I think this is the amount of Crayola color pencils that I have. Crayola is like my largest set of colored pencils. Yeah, these are some of the newer colors, because when I look into my line, I don't have these colors. So in color of kindness, they have this one named Hello Sunshine. It's cray yellow, so that's a new color in this line. But I'm thinking, I do not have mulberry at all in this color pencil set. There is no color pencil here. I think the closest I have to mulberry is raspberry. This set right here over this side. These are the closest I have to mulberry. I don't have dandelion. I know that for a fact. I do have a lemon yellow. I don't have a blizzard blue. I don't have violet blue either. I have a blue violet. I do have blue violet in this line here, but not violet blue. I don't have magic mint. I think that's probably somewhere around here. I don't have that at all. And I don't have raw umber. I don't have. These are my color of the world. So yeah, I have a couple more spaces to house more Crayola colored pencils if I should get them. But I do have a couple here that we're gonna look at sometime. So yeah, there's a couple more, but I don't think that's gonna fill up the spaces. So there's a couple more spaces in here. So I think these 7 colors here are new to me, but I do believe raw amber and dandelion is new to the Crayola colored pencil line. Now, having said that, let's pop this bad boy open and see what this is all about. As usual, what I am going to do is I am going to swatch them out. Now, I was working with some colored pencils, so I should have my backing sheet somewhere near here. Here it is. Backing sheet. This is just a bunch of glued together cardstock. I like to use it in the back of my stuff, so it feels a bit firm to color on. So I must confess that I have used these previously, not used them in a coloring session, but swatched them out, because I recently redid my Crayola. Well, you would have known that I redid my Crayola swatch booklet, and so I had to swatch out all the Crayola color pencils that I have. I think except, yeah, I swatched all of them out, so I could complete the booklet and have everything in color order or color family. So yeah, so that's how I know where they should go. But these ones, I did not sharpen them, guys. I could say that I did not sharpen them. So if you see them with low points, let me bring you guys in. Come on, go in. Thank you. Go down. Yeah, so if you see them like this with very sharp points, it's because they came with broken points. Like this one came with broken points. So I'm going to sharpen these now. So first of all, this is how the pencil look. It has that classic Crayola writing on it. However, that is not how my Crayola color pencils look. Let me pull one of my, this is from, no, this is a newer one. Let me put one of the older ones. Yeah, this is an older one. See, this is how my older Crayola colored pencil look. I think I have some here from the Color of Kindness line. Here's one. This is how the logo looks from the Color of Kindness. Remember, the Color of Kindness are some of their more recent line. In 2020 they brought out this one, which is the Color of the Worlds, and this is how their logo looked. So they went back to the classic Crayola logo. This is how it used to look, and here they have the word dandelion written in 3 different languages. And also they have here, I believe this is some kind of quality control edging that is in here, so they have a quality control number. Now these pencil measures about 17.5 centimeters long. They have a barrel of about 7.5. If you're seeing me correctly, 7.5. With wide and a core size that is about, it wants to be, if I'm touching this correctly, about 3.5. No, it's a little smaller. It's about 3 millimeters in diameter. So yeah. So now, okay, so now I'm sharpening these, and they seem to be rather easy to sharpen. I had one mishap with this color here, orange yellow, because while sharpening it, this sharpening has a automatic stop, but yeah, see, that's the automatic stop. It doesn't sharpen anymore. But with this, it just continues sharpening, so I sharpen it a little lower than I wanted to. But as you can see, I all sharpened them. They sharpen really well with a crank sharpener. This is a deli sharpener that I have here, a standard crank sharpener. So now that I've sharpened them, even though I swatched them without sharpening, I think now, I was looking at my old pencil set, and I don't have any Crayolas in there, but I've had these Crayolas for some time. Well, Crayola colored pencils for some time. So I think now we can start, and let's start with lemon yellow. Let me grab my, sorry guys, I didn't mean to stretch my art glove here. I like using it because I like to rest my hand on my work. So by putting this on, when I rest my hand on the work, I don't feel like I'm smudging anything. I believe this here is going to be available to Patreons, paid tier, for those persons who want to follow along with me as I, okay. This paper I'm using is my standard drawing paper that I buy here in the country of Belize. I like using it for colored pencils and crayon illustration because it does have a decent amount of tooth on it, and it doesn't dullin the color. Let me bring you guys down a bit. Let me show you what I'm doing. You're getting this in real time. Yeah. Because it doesn't dullin the color like newsprint paper or coloring book paper does. So it's fairly nice to work with. And as you can notice, these are very light. Let me now try dandelion, and it's only 8 colors I'm working with, so I think I could swatch through this with you, and then I'm going to take it away, do some exercises with it, do some work with it, and I'll come back to you with my full thoughts and perspective probably tomorrow, since I am home and it's a weekend, and I don't think it'll take me a week to work with these. I just want to try it first on maybe this paper and then on some coloring book papers first. Ooh, this is really soft. You can actually feel the core of this, and the lead of this is really soft, guys. Okay, so I should explain what these empty slots are here for. I'm going to try as best as possible to match these with colors that are already in my large Crayola colored pencil line, because I'm adding these into my colored pencil collection. And there's a possibility with 184 colors that I probably already have colors that represent these. So yeah, it probably might not be unique to this. And this is mulberry. I don't know. I'm finding myself loving these colors like this a lot lately. Whenever I'm coloring with Crayola, I find myself gravitating to this kind of reddish purple color. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm concentrating. Okay, so why don't I finish this up, because there's not much I could say with you guys right now, and then I'll come back at the end. Welcome back. uh yeah, that was a long part one. I try not to let my part ones be so long. Anyway, guys, I did work with this some. I did do some work with it. First of all, I have to discuss that the paper, it is the paper here for this Crayola coloring book, is really, really soft. So when I worked with it, this is the general view of it. Let me bring you guys down a bit, in a bit. Yeah. What you see here is, sorry if you hear the dog barking. I do have dogs. For this paper here, when working with it, and I'm going to be very fast, it is so soft. It's a very soft paper. And for me, it didn't take the coloring pencil well. It felt like it had a waxiness on it when I use it with color pencils. This paper feels like it has a waxy film on it, where it, and then the pencil itself is very, very hard. The core of the pencil is very hard, so it's kind of like resisting each other, and it doesn't allow for colors to come down, you know what I mean, to lay down properly and evenly. I felt like I had to use the crayons on this paper, so that's exactly what I did. So I colored the Blizzard Blue or Blitz here only with the pencil, and then the background and the name I use crayons for, and I felt more at ease coloring with crayons on this paper than I did with colored pencils. Okay, just for reference, let me show you what I mean when it comes to dullness of the paper. This is what Blizzard Blue looks like. This is what it looks like on this paper. You see how duller it looks here? It looks almost like it has a yellow undertone of the paper, whereas this brings out its true beauty. Yeah, see? Can you even layer a little bit more on this? So yeah, this is what I'm talking about, that the dullness of this paper. The other thing, and oh yes, I should bring you guys out a bit, all the way out, to let you see that I did finish my illustration piece here. So let's talk a little bit about this here, because what I wanted to do here, let me bring you guys all the way in here. What I wanted to do here was to color match these 8 colors here with what I already owned. And so I already had a lemon yellow, so it's this here. So I am using the lemon yellow that I already had versus the lemon yellow that came in the Retired Color set. For me, the dandelion kind of looks like golden yellow. The orange red kind of looks like red orange. The mulberry, it has a warmer tinge to it than the maroon or the red violet. So I could say this is a new color. The violet blue has a more warmer tinge to it too than the indigo. To me, the Blizzard Blue kind of looks like Absolute Zero. The Magic Mint kind of looks like Shamrock. And lastly, let me see if I could pull this here for you guys to appreciate this. This also is kind of like a unique color to itself because with my naked eye, it looks very warm versus the chocolate, dark chocolate, or the extra deep golden. So yeah. So I try to do some color matching with this to see, to match it with colors I already had. And this is some of the stuff that I got. So I am concluding that I have 4 new colors, including raw umber, violet blue, mulberry, and raw umber, blue. No, mulberry. No, three new colors I have because these are the same. This is not new to me color. So there's only 3 new colors I have: raw umber, violet blue, and mulberry. Those are unique colors for me. Now I also did some kind of color mixing, but they don't really mix if you noticed here. You know, especially look at the purple. You do see the blue, you do see the red. It doesn't look like it mixed here too. It doesn't look like it mixed. It barely looks like it layers. So I was having difficulty in that department. We talked about this coloring book. I should add, for those people who decided to buy the 96 coloring pages that comes with the sticker sheet, all the illustrations that are in here are in here. So this is a set of 2. So it's in all, it's 64 coloring pages you get with this, with set 1 and set 2. But if you get this book here, you get 32 more illustrations than were in here. So just to let you know that the illustrations, I did look at it, the illustrations that are in here are also here. Now let's talk about this one. So currently this is the one that I'm working with. I actually did not finish it. Let me add a little bit more light here. What I noticed is I actually prefer to work with these color pencils on this paper. Although this paper to me is really smooth, it just captured the color pencils better than the actual coloring book. And the other thing is that I could color an entire illustration with color pencils on this paper versus the coloring book. And I actually enjoy the experience more, even though, yes, this paper is really smooth, really thin. So I hope Crayola, I know they're not listening to me, but I hope in the future they make their coloring book with this paper. And it's probably a little bit more expensive too, but with this paper rather than the actual coloring, the newsprint paper that they have, because for me this paper just capture color pencils a bit better. Now, having said that, I struggled when I was doing this illustration because I needed extra colors, so I couldn't do an entire illustration with only the 8 colors provided. So I had to go back into my color pencil collection and pull more colors out just so I could get more definition, more colors. This is not finished, but I will finish it. And for our color pencil illustration, for our illustration for this piece, I'm using this one here. Same color, Blizzard Blue, that I want to work with. And let's see if I could put more color down here than here. I think this would be a good one to work with because I want to choose a color that a illustration where I could use more of these colors and less colors. I think I'm going to work with this one. This one looks better because this one is just the crayons, a little foliage, walls, party stuff. So I think I could work with this one better. Yeah, and these papers, guys, are not single printed, they're double printed, so they're printed at both sides. Yeah, and they actually do give you activities too. So not all the illustrations are color illustrations. Some of them are actually activities as well, which kind of sucks because, you know, I would have loved to have all coloring illustrations. So yeah, let's put that aside. I should say that if, see, more activity. If you wanted to, I did say I was going to save this piece, you know. I remember telling myself to save this piece here because, let me see if I could choose something else. I found a new party scene. Yeah, I don't think I want to save that for something else. Now I'm looking at this one. I'm like, yeah, I could use that one. I could use that one, this here. I do have enough elements in here, but nah, we already gave up one party scene already. So let's use it here. So yeah, let's bring you guys down a bit, in a bit. Yeah. Okay. So these are the colors that I'm using to color this guy. And thankfully, I already know who this guy is. So I just need to figure out who this person is. And let's get to the coloring. Okay, I think I'm going to stop here for right now for two reasons. Reason being, first, chiefly, the sun is becoming in my space and it's getting more difficult to see the true colors here. And two is that, let me see what I have here. Yeah. And two, unmellow yellow is coming out. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. See? Crayola. See, I could actually pull out my core of my pencil. I couldn't believe it. I thought it needed sharpened, so I sharpened it, not realizing that it's not sharpened it doesn't need. It is that it is pushing out. So yeah, I got to be careful with this color now because I could actually break it. Crayola, I know you're not paying attention to me, but oh my goodness, this is shameful. I could actually pull out the core of my pencil. Now I have to be careful with it. So, what I did is I did do the retired colors for the tip, but I used other colors from my collection for the, let me bring you guys out. Appreciate what I'm doing here. For the other colors, being that I'm now using substitute colors, you know, because I've already used all the colors that I wanted to use when it comes to the retired colors in this piece. So now it's just to use substitute colors. So I could stop here. All in all, this was a good coloring experience. Although, even though my hand is hurting a bit, it was a very good coloring experience. What I can say is this coloring, I know this is not a review of this coloring set, but look here. Okay, this is Molly here. No, that's not Molly. That's Violet. That's Viola. That's Viola here. But where is her foot? Because if you look here, it kind of looks like she's sitting down, but there's an extra thing here and then some feet here. I wonder if Crayola AI generated these, because this is not the only piece here. It's also these balloons. Notice they're not attached. They're just free hanging, and there's the lines are not attached to it. So all this have me wondering, did Crayola kind of AI generated this piece? And now I'm curious to look for it in the 96 color set to see if it's the same flaw, because that's very interesting, you know? So there's a lot of glare, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to. But it was a fun experience. While looking at this, it was a fun experience. I did enjoy it a lot. And I did have a lot of fun coloring, even though now my hand is hurting a bit. But guys, have you tried these retired colors when they were out? What do you think of them? Let me know in the comments below, even though I'm still looking for that. Yeah, it's something like this here. This picture here to see what went on. So thank you so much for joining me on this journey. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. Let me find this thing and see if it's the same flaw. Yes, I found it. And yeah, it is the same flaw. Same picture. I told you these pictures are just the same pictures from here to here. Same picture, same flaw. What's going on here? Same picture, same flaw. So yeah, you got me thinking now, Crayola. Guys, let me know what you think of this in the comments below, and I'll definitely see you in the next one. Bye, guys.